closest to us in lane 2, we have Mendota, lane 3, Henderson, lane 4, Mendota, lane 5, Argentina, lane 6, St. Catharines, and lane 7, Mendota. So you might notice 2, 4, and 7 are all the same club, which is something that I think in the senior men's heavy events, we're really used to seeing Mendota at least having one crew in each of the sweep events.
Yeah, the Mendota crew out of Wisconsin, the crew in lane 4 of Kyle McCarthy and Dylan Adams, they won the elite men's pair at the U.S. Club Nationals recently. And the Mendota boats are coached by Bo Hoopman, who was a gold medalist in the men's 8 for the United States in the 2004 Olympic Games.
Probably my favorite piece of trivia information at this regatta today. The bowman Axel Hack from Argentina, lane 5, he was a gold medalist at the Pan Am Games here in St. Catharines in 2015, and it was a dead heat, so it was a tie for first.
That is a rarity.
It is a rarity. I think they were lucky. It was a strange and lucky coincidence they happened to have 2 gold medals here that day.
Yeah, Axel Hack rowing for Argentina and his partner, they rowed at the 2017 World Championships. Hack rowed in the men's pair, and his partner, Joaquin Iwan, was in the men's 4 for Argentina.
Last year's winners of this event were Carl Zimmerman and Logan Medill of Leander Boat Club. Logan was an athlete who competed at FISU in 2016 in the straight 4 for Canada, and Carl Zimmerman won the under-23 World Championships in the quad in 2015. Both those guys rowed for McMaster University, and they won the pair last year and also the championship men's 8 last year.
Yeah, in the St. Catharines boat, we have Alex Rogers and Ryan Malkowski, and they're coached by Matt Schenk, whose wife Teresa, I believe, is listening to us right now with their 1-week-old baby right now.
Hi, Harper.
So the crews have been called to attention. They are now sitting up waiting for the starter to switch the light from red to green.
I have tons and tons of respect for anybody who can race a pair and race it successfully, but even just going straight is a feat in and of itself.
Yeah, the pair is such a difficult boat to row well. It takes a lot of time for the two athletes to get to know each other, to get to figure out the idiosyncrasies and figure out how to make a boat move straight and move fast.
I've had the chance to speak to a couple of the Mendota guys, more so last year than this year, but I know they don't come up here and just race one event. They're in this for the week, and a lot of them are racing at least 4 events. So we're talking 4 events with heats and semifinals and finals. So that could come up to like 12 trips down the course in some cases.
Yeah, that's very tiring. So the athletes really need to manage their time in between races, make sure that they're cooling down properly after their races, making sure that they're refueling their bodies to be able to handle that many races. Like the last race, it looks like Argentina may have got out to a bit of a lead. They're rowing at a fairly high rate compared to the other boats at this point of the race. And it looks like they're really working hard to establish a lead for the first 500 meters.
All of these guys are racing for the William Hamilton Merritt Trophy. William Hamilton Merritt was an influential figure in the Niagara region in the early 19th century. While he was on patrol as a serviceman during the War of 1812, Merritt came up with the idea of a canal that could bypass Niagara Falls and link Lake Ontario with Lake Erie. In 1824, the Welland Canal Company was formed with Merritt as the agent, and the first route of the canal began here in Port Dalhousie using the same body of water that we have been rowing on since 1903.
I'm sure all our folks in Merritt listening right now are quite happy to hear that.
Absolutely.
So Argentina looked like they opened up about a 5 or 6 second lead on the field at the 500 meter mark. But in the smaller boats, there still is a bit more of an opportunity for boats that are sitting back by that 5 or 6 second mark to make a comeback. It just we'll have to wait and see if Argentina spent too much in that first 5 to take a lead, or if it's a pace that they can sustain for a full 2,000 meters.
I think with the caliber of these guys and the experience they have, they probably have a pretty good idea of what they're doing. Their race plan's probably something they've practiced over and over and over again. They're probably hoping for no surprises from the back of the pack, and from where they're sitting, they can see everybody. They've got a really good command of what the field is doing around them.
Yeah, it certainly helps when you're out in front. It's a little bit easier to respond to moves that other crews are making. They're not flying blind, so they have put themselves into the driver's seat, and it looks like they're using that to their advantage as we approach the 1,000-meter mark.
Of course, Henderson is rowing out of the Northeastern Boat Club in Boston. Henderson, Mendota, St. Catharines, those are all athletes who are going to go back and row university probably in the fall.
And you'll see a lot of these athletes trying out for their national team, if they haven't already. On the boat from Argentina, to have two guys with experience from the World Championships last year, that's experience that is tough to beat.
For sure. It's exciting racing at Henley, but it's a totally different ball game when you get onto the international scene. And I'm sure these guys are used to managing, their timelines, managing jet lag, or if they're, dealing with travel.
Yeah, and for a lot of countries, they will send their athletes to this regatta to gain some experience because it is probably the closest regatta you're going to find to a world championship, not only in terms of how you race and when you race, but the quality of racing that you'll get to take part in. Australia and New Zealand are two countries that have done that in the past, and we can see from the entries that Argentina has certainly sent a large contingent up here to race.
Absolutely. We do tend to see countries, we see China, Egypt, Zimbabwe's here this year. It's really exciting, and as somebody who's grown up, in St. Catharines, Niagara region, or southwestern Ontario, this is just kind of a regular occurrence for us. This is something you look forward to, but at the end of the day, Henley's pretty special.
Yes, it is. That one gold medal. And it looks like Argentina is going to be able to hold on to this as they head to the 1,500-meter mark. St. Catharines and Mendota fighting for second place.
Those are some big rowers. They look very strong coming through the 1,500-meter mark.
They do, and they had a lot of control. The blade work, you could see, they bring it out of the water nice and clean. And once the blade gets into the water, they get it on it with the legs very quickly.
Great shot of the field there. It's still, it's fairly tight racing. They've made it through tons of racing already, given that we've seen these names come up on the draw, once, twice, three times even already and we're only on Thursday.
And for these guys, they started racing on Tuesday, so it was heats to finals, so they were able to not have to race the boat yesterday. So if they are racing multiple events, it allows them a chance to kind of catch their breath and make sure they're properly prepared for their finals.
Yeah, not a whole lot of splashing happening from the blade work on from the Argentinian crew. You can even just kind of compare to the two boats on either side of them. It's just they're at a different level.
They are, and that's that World Championship experience. And for the other athletes, too, it's an opportunity for them to get to race against people with World Championship experience and see how they prepare for the race and maybe make some changes to their pre-race strategy.
If there's one thing I know at the end of all of this, when they're back on the dock, there's going to be handshakes and high fives. I'm sure, these guys they're all really great sports.
Definitely. I mean, that's one of the reasons I've stayed with the sport for so long is you get to see this wonderful camaraderie against people, and it's everyone's always looking to help if something goes wrong with the equipment. There's no shortage of wrenches on a dock. And there is Argentina, the winner of the senior men's pair.
A nice kind of subdued celebration there. Thumbs up to the guys on either side. Really, it is about sportsmanship. So they came through in 6:28.07 to win unofficially the senior men's pair.
And much like the other races, this is about 30 seconds faster than what we were seeing the last couple of days, thanks to a very healthy tailwind.
as we come through for the event number 18, the 626 event, which is the women's under 23 lightweight 8. And we only have 3 boats in this race. A small number of entries is typical in the women's under 23 light 8. We'll see Vesper, Wyandotte, and St. Catharines duking it out for Henley Gold.
Yeah, so nice to be back. Nice